We're here today to have a look at Planet Sound's 10th year anniversary celebrations. There's going to be plenty of bands playing all day, there's going to be plenty of interviews, and we're going to see what's making it come together over the last 10 years. So you want to go inside and have a look? was like, oh, we'll make it into this little indie program. Yeah, and here I am with the legendary man himself, Tim. How's it going, sir?
Yeah, it's going really good.
Had a good time, haven't we?
We're having an amazing time.
It's been wicked, man. Okay, so give us a little bit of background about Planet Sounds. Tell us how it started.
Well, if we're going to go right back to the beginning, I'll try and keep it short. But basically, yeah, it was to rehearse with several different bands, and we used to go to different rehearsal spaces, ranging from backs of old garages to people's bedrooms, all sorts. And always thought there was a need for a decent rehearsal space in Southampton. In a way, I was kind of outgunned when one of the members of the band that I was in joined and opened his own rehearsal space. But then that kind of worked as a springboard to the forming of Planet Sounds. The drummer at the time, we had a guy called Chris Walsh. He remembered this place where we are now when it used to be a club back in the day, and we made investigations, made a few inquiries, and found out that we could lease the place. At the time, I'd just been made redundant from Borelli after 14 years, and thought to myself, well, am I going to go and work in factories for the rest of my life, or am I going to do something I want to do for the rest of my life? And thankfully, fell on the right side.
That's really the message, isn't it? I think, we spoke about it earlier on, and in order to do what you want to do, you kind of have to do it, don't you? No one's gonna.
There is always, in everything, it doesn't matter what you're doing, you know, like we're seeing today, whether it's art, whether it's music, whether it's filmmaking, whether it's this, you've got to make that leap of faith and say, well, this is what I'm going to commit to. And then, hopefully, you still stand exactly the same chance as everybody else, but hopefully it will pay you dividends, and your worst case scenario, like this, make a living out of it.
Exactly, it's the best you know for it.
Yeah, I'm a good cameraman. Quite sexy going around with my camera.
Introduce yourself today.
I'm Neil Kennedy. When Tim opened this place, I kind of snuck on his coattails to start a little studio here, and went on from there really. So yeah, I've been quite involved in Planet Sounds for a couple of years, but not so much over the last few years, but certainly in the formative years.
Yeah. How would you say that Planet Sounds has helped you form your career?
When Tim started Planet Sounds, I saw an opportunity to maybe take something I'd done as a hobby a bit more seriously, if he would give me the space to try it and a chance to try it, and Tim did do that. So I owe him quite a lot in terms of my career. He definitely gave me a space and a bit of time to kind of work on it.
A room for expression.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
that's cool, man. What do you think like Planet Sounds as a whole gives to like the music? Because I mean, like we've been talking about this all day. I mean, I think we've come to like the thing that Planet Sounds is a vital part of like the music community in Southampton. What do you think that it gives the music community of Southampton to have something like this?
Well, when I was here, I kind of considered it a bit of a hub. You know, a lot of the bands that came through, and a lot of the bands that played the joiners. This was a bit of like a hub, a network. Us, the joiners, a few other places like that. You know, there's Hamptons and other venues. It felt like for a little while there was a bit of a community and a bit more camaraderie. You know, bands would come in, you'd have 5 bands practicing, and they'd get to know each other. A few more opportunities that arise from that, new friendships, new bands when they split up, you know. It was, it's a positive kind of space, I think, for the majority of Southampton music scene.
It's imperative to have something like this, isn't it, for like a musical vibe in a community, like to have somewhere like Planet Sounds and to have...
I think so. I think, there's plenty of other spaces people can go to. There's units out in the middle of the wilderness. There's, that kind of lacks a bit of face-to-face. And place like Planet Sounds.
This is what this is, isn't it? Really, it kind of like with Planet Sounds, you do have that very familiarity. And like we've spoken about with other people, the fact that you do when you're down here, you meet other bands and you meet other people that are on the same sort of quest. I say quest in like a very like whimsical manner, but it's kind of like this thing, isn't it? That everyone's just trying to just make music and stuff.
Sure. I think Tim gave like a good face to the music community as well. Yeah, I think Tim's done a great job, you know. He took over a derelict space, he made it into something that made a difference in the community.
He's done a good job, hasn't he?
I think he's done a great job.
What would you like to say to Tim?
Cheers. I think Tim gave me an amazing opportunity there, but I don't think many people would have done it. For a while, me and Tim had a really good symbiotic relationship. That's the term we always use, because I've seen a word of the day calendar that day or something. We did a lot for each other, and we still do. We still do actually now. I might not be here every day, but there's still a connection. We still kind of have like a relationship whereby we help each other out, and we always will do, as far as I'm concerned.
Awesome, man. Well, no, it's lovely to speak to you.
Cheers.
As it used to be, got a feeling there's a different side to me. Will I let it out? Can't wait to see. Will I lock it up? Throw away the key.
Can I sit on this bass amp? That felt nice. Strangely satisfying. Right, guys, gather around a little bit so I can look at all the different faces together. You don't have to. Everyone can just move around to you. Gather around. Zoom in. So, guys, what makes this place special to you? What do you think this place offers that other places don't, and what stands out about it?
Was it co-op over the road? That's good.
Booze. Booze is not that anyone drinks in here.
It's kind of where we started. It's kind of where we met up in room 4, didn't we? And just started jamming, and it's kind of, it's just where we've always rehearsed.
You two lost souls walking through the night through Planet Sounds and you bumped into each other in room 4.
Something along those lines.
Well, let's think about that. That's called poetic. For you that don't know. Obviously, you've just given me like a fond memory that you have, which is like meeting in room 4 and stuff. How long have you guys been down here for, like rehearsing?
I've been down here for like 7, 8 years. I've been down here quite a long time. Not with him, but
Yeah.
Quite a long time.
What attracted you to this place in the first place?
I like the smell.
For the camera, you can't smell this place. It smells brilliant. And what do you think that like this place brings to the community of like musicians in Southampton? Because I think we will have to admit, like Southampton's got a very, even though there's a lot of people involved in the music scene, it's really, really tight. Like, you know, it's amazing, isn't it? Like when you sort of see people around and everyone's sort of part of it and everyone's always doing different things and stuff. And what do you think this place like offers to the community?
I guess you kind of meet a lot of people here that you then meet up on gigs, and you end up using the same gear that you borrowed to practice down here and stuff.
And then find it up, waking up and it's in the back of your car and not down here. What message would you give to Tim, and what message would you give to everyone who's watching this, who wants to understand about what Planet Sound is and what it, you know, what the essence of the place is?
Clean the toilet. Just thanks for supporting us and kind of giving us our first gig, and you know, always finding a room for us and not charging us when we cancel at the last minute. That's good, thanks.
And what about yourself, sir? With your that's a bloody good t-shirt. Yes. Thanks.
It's a blinking good t-shirt.
It is a blinking good t-shirt. Can we have a look at this? Show the cameras. Don't wake the bear. That's a bear on a sofa.
That's where I spend most of my time.
Well, thank you for coming down. Thank you for playing this. I'm sure Tim will say thank you as well.
Try the second vocal, please.
Second.
Robin, you ready?
Ready?
Band, are you ready?
Okay, hang on.
Yeah.
Hang on. You ready?
If that's it, if that's as good as it's gonna get, it's alright.
Staring out the window, watching the falling snow. It's snowing here for days now. Each day felt a little bit colder as the dark clouds floated around his head. You said it wouldn't matter, but you knew it really would. He's feeling foolish now. Why didn't you speak up when you had the chance? You waited too long, the right moment. Afraid to open up all wounds of time could do the healing, but the there's nothing left but silence. Can love ever grow again once the trust is gone? There's too much past between them. Wanted to believe love was strong enough to keep them together and put the hurt behind. Ran out of things to say, ran out of reasons to stay, watched as they drove away, staring out of the window. Hearts broken, watch the snow falling. Catch the light of the moon rising, turn into gold in the moonlight, in the moonlight, in the moonlight, in the moonlight, in the moonlight.
What do you think you've learnt in the last 10 years?
In the last 10 years, I've learned that there's an awful lot of good music out there, an awful lot of honest and dedicated people that want to make that good music. It's just a shame that there's an awful lot, you're basically sort of flowing against the tide in any of these kind of situations that we've just said. But yeah, I've learned that these people that do show commitment, whether they break it, whether they kick it out of the park, whether they became famous or not, they've always worked hard and achieved what they want to do within what they want to do, and that's all you can really ask for. And if they're happy with that, then they'll be happy with it.
It's a good message, though, I think, for young people. Can you remember the first day you realised that this was what you were going to do for the next?
Yeah.
However long?
The day that I realised I was going to do this forever was the day the first band come in here, and they had a good time and they loved it, and they were making music from nothing in a space that I'd given them, and I just thought this is what it was all about. It's I always wanted to, ever since when I was much younger, I always thought if I ever won like the pools or the lottery or something like that, then that would be what I would like to do, just set up a studio where people didn't have to pay very much money to come and do what they want to do. And that's pretty much where I am now.
What do you think sets us apart from other jobs?
It's not a job.
It's a passion.
Yeah, it's not a job at all. And that's it. If it was about the money, I would have jacked it in. To be fair with you, but no, it's not. It's not a job for me. It's just any decisions I make in this place are my own stupid fault, whether they're right ones or wrong ones.
They're yours to make.
Yeah, exactly. And just having the opportunity to sit here night after night after night after night, listening to 5 bands, cranking it out and doing, you know, what they do. It's brilliant.
Obviously, this is the 10th year anniversary of this place being open. What do you think's changed in the last 10 years?
The face of music has changed an awful lot. You know, even, I mean, back when I first started this place, it wasn't even MySpace, and that was just starting to come through.
Yeah.
So, you know, and then the kind of, what a vehicle that turned out to be for so many bands and stuff. But now the biggest thing I think that has changed is the way that the Wilderness Mother can record something amazing at home.
Yeah.
And that doesn't, you know, and they are, to be fair, you know, with the software plugins, God knows what, you know, everything, all the Logic and everything that's available to you can turn out some really, really amazing demos. The difference is that when it gets to the point where they've got to perform this stuff, then you can't do that in the bedroom. And the only way you're going to know if it sounds any good is to come somewhere like this, crank it up.
Full blast, all the way up to 11.
All the way to 11.
All the way up to 11.
Don't even look at 11.
Did you ever imagine that what you set up here would become so much of an intrinsic part of the music community in Southampton? And I know you personally, I know that you don't think that, but I think it's, from what we've seen this weekend, it's been adamant.
It has been an eye-opener, to be fair, but I think that's just because it has been such a good job as such that I just do it day to day, and you know, people come, people go, bands come, they fade away. I didn't think it would become such a big part of the music scene. I realise now that it is, because you know, it's centrally based. There's an awful lot of bands that can get here and can come and practice, and I'm kind of proud, really, of how it's gone, where we've got to with it, you know, and just really chuffed, really, how good it is.
That's amazing.
So Dave, how are you today, mate?
I'm well, thank you, Matt.
Yeah?
How are you doing?
I'm alright, mate, I'm alright.
It's
already been a long morning. So yeah, before you play, tell us a little bit about like your history with Planet Sound and some of the bands that you've been in, and like, you know, how it's played an integral part in what you've done.
Okay, well, do I have to speak into the mic?
You don't have to speak into the mic, you can just speak to me.
Well, I was in a band called Thomas Tantrum, and I've been in a few bands, but predominantly I've rehearsed here with Thomas Tantrum, and we used to come here a couple of times a week. And our good old Uncle Tim would...
Good old Uncle Tim? Where is Uncle Tim? He's hidden away, isn't he?
Dig out all the stuff that hasn't been destroyed by the drummers.
Those pesky drummers.
Lend it up and,
get destroyed by you guys. Right, give us a message for Tim.
Hey Uncle Tim, thanks for everything you've done for the local community and all the kids who want to play music, and all the older guys who want to play music, and everyone who wants to play music, and keep on rocking.
Take it away, man.
By the day I fluff the pillows for the night, and huddle with the shadows, we're all jealous of the light. There's a beam from this black mirror that I control, like some demigod who sits inside a goldfish bowl. I can conjure any lover that I want down here in this rat-infested swamp. These images of love endure, but somehow don't ring true. Could this be a job for you know who? Well, I met him in the void behind my face. He stared me down, I shook his hand, and then I took his place. I schlepped off to the great piano stool. Now he's the kind of shark who ends up in the public pool to sink his teeth in any swimmer that he wants. Look them in the eye and take this chance. bring them home and make them moan, then tear their heart in two. It's good to have a friend like you know who.
So, SJ Brady,
Hello.
you have here today at Planet Sounds for the 10th year anniversary. How are you today?
Good, thank you. Bit under the weather, but good.
A bit under the weather?
Yeah, slightly overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed? Can I just ask you a few questions? Would that be too overwhelming?
No.
No? Good. Okay. What do you think makes this place special?
I think what makes it special is that anyone really can come down here, and it doesn't really matter what stage you're at. If anything, it's more welcomed if you're at a starting out stage, and it's just a perfect open space for people to create the music which they want to create, and they can try out new ideas. No one's judging them. They have no scruples, and it's really good to meet other bands as well, especially if you're kind of in a smaller town. It's good to support the other bands which are around and to be influenced and encourage the music which everyone else is creating.
What fond memories do you have of being down here, if any?
Well, when I've been here before, I've been accompanying my other friends' bands because I was always a bit too shy to kind of start writing myself.
Now she's not there. And what would you say, apart from creaking doors, that Planet Sounds offers to like local musicians? Like, what do you think this place gives people? I mean, you already said and I think I can completely relate to the fact that if you're in a new band and stuff, you don't feel intimidated about coming here at all. You feel like it doesn't matter if, I mean, the bands that play here that are signed and stuff, and there's bands that are just starting out and can only play 3 chords and but what do you think as a whole that this place really gives to the community?
I think it offers them an alternative, as I think music offers people an alternative as well. And it offers them like a safe house and a very welcoming one. So, boys that wear, skinny jeans and,
He's not that skinny!
But when we were at college and at school, if you're not into so many other things, and music is often like
an alternative, isn't it? It's
absolutely.
like, sometimes people look at you like a bit of a weirdo and they go, what's that, you like to play music?
And it's just something that you fall in love with, and having a place to be able to, where you meet other people that fall in love with the same things that you do, is just like,
We like to fall in love, it's good. Priceless.
It's priceless. Everything else is mastercard.
And what message would you have to Tim and all the guys that work down here tirelessly?
I think just a huge congratulations.
10 years, bloody long time, isn't it?
It's amazing.
Long time.
It really is. It's fantastic.
Goldfish don't even last 10 years. You let them into your house.
Just keep going and keep doing the fantastic stuff that you're doing, and everyone appreciates it probably a lot more than they either let on.
It means a lot to a lot of people that are massively. Yeah. So if you want to wear skinny jeans and play guitars, you can come down here. If you don't, you can still come down here anyway.
It's the place to be, honey.
It's the place to be, honey.
It's the place to be.
Alright, Tallulah, take it away.
Thanks.
me I should know when I'm wrong. So he tells me, know your place in this time. Where's your grace in this line? He tells me, be a babe where my broken spirit lay. So he tells me, you're mine. Thought I was a daughter, thought I was in line. But he doesn't know how I've fallen in love with being alone. And I'm just passing by, I'm afraid there's no time for holding you near or sustaining myself in what I can find. The lost I can feed, I'm a lonely soul among an earth almost whole. And I wait in the night for a longing that I might find beneath. So I crawled from his bed where I'm laid for you. As I turn away, he tells me it's what I need. His touch to feel the darkness sinking around me. Shakes in the night, bodies of fire. Do you yearn for me? As I ache to feel, to breathe in the night into something that's real. But I will have you in my arms. And I used to ignore that feeling before that would make itself known. Under your tone, my voice would close, waiting for me to be light. I'd lay awake in the night to apologize, unforgiven for the times I laid out beneath, wanting my heart to be laid out in the night, unwilling to fight for my life. Ooh, but you're so weak, so he tells me I should know when I'm wrong, but he doesn't know how I've fallen in love with being alone. And I'll wait no more as you close the door. I've crept in the night, I've reclaimed a life that was stolen from me. Now I sleep with you, it's my heart it beats. The silence you've left behind breathes new life into me. And I thought I was a daughter, but I'm left to the sea. And it sings to me as I'm so weak, but my heart, it beats.
Alright guys, how's it going? So you are
Chemical Threat.
Chemical Threat. What's your name, man?
I'm Ed. This is John. John.
How's
yeah.
it going, boys? You like having a good time?
Yeah, we're having a great time. Yeah.
I've already seen these guys play, and I'll tell you what, man, they are something special. They're alright, like they're gonna have it to large. What makes Planet Sound special to you, boys? Like, what is it about this club?
It's got
Tim.
Tim.
He looks after us.
Tim
It's
is
like
the main reason. Yeah, and it's got a good vibe. I couldn't think of anywhere better. We've practiced in loads of places before, and like this, it's the best.
What fond memories do you have from being here, boys?
don't know, it's always...
So like, one of my favourites is on like a Monday or a Tuesday, he's got his school choir, the singing lessons.
Yeah.
I like this.
And so we turn up, it's a bunch of punks turn up, and it's like, oh, we've got these kids in there, and he dumps us in the back room. But we like the back room. It's
Yeah,
cool.
that's good.
We don't
The
want
one
to
on the
scare
far
the
left.
Yeah.
That's the one, isn't it? Be away from it all on the far left.
we don't want to scare these
As much
kids.
racket as we want, and then...
When they scare us, we can hear them through the vents. It's scary. Children singing.
What do you think like Planet Sound does for like the community? And that?
Also balance mingle. I mean, it's good. Like,
Yeah, exactly.
indie bands, punk bands, all sorts.
As long as people are playing the live music, it doesn't matter either. It doesn't matter what sort of music.
And that's the crack, innit? It's all about the music at the end of the day, and that's what the main thing is, man. It's like so important. What message would you have to Tim? If you had to say something to him, like 10 years of being here, man, like, what would you say to him?
Carry on.
Just carry on for the next 10 years.
Yeah, carry on as long as you can.
Doing a wonderful job.
We're about to go and watch Chemical Threat, and I swear to God, they're going to be the fucking bollocks, mate. Let's have it. Come on, boys. Yeah, it was.
Very much so.
There goes the attitude.
Oi, oi. Oi, oi.
Right, ladies and gentlemen, this is Chemical Threat, and I swear to God, bollocks, mate. Okay, so I'm here with Lindsay Tatler. She's going to tell us a little bit about the artwork that she's been doing in here. Lindsay, describe to me what you've been doing and why you've been doing it.
Okay. I basically have been doing sort of a little bit of street art, a little bit of sort of DIY stuff, like general artists, self-rendering stuff. And yeah, I've painted a few walls in the past, and I was in the studio next door, and I was taking here all like Planet Sounds and stuff, like the big walls.
It's hard to ignore, isn't it?
Yeah. And we got to know each other and got to know a bit more about this place, and he said like it was like a mural, he'd seen what I'd done, and I don't know, I just kind of, it is a bit random. I usually do like female portraits, and usually the females...
There's lots of females in here, isn't there?
Yeah, it's true. And yeah.
In fact, it's all females, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's all good.
Yeah, and I usually do like no eyes and stuff. It's usually hair covering over eyes or eyelashes and stuff. So no, I guess it's a bit of a free-falling idea, I guess. And it's just sort of moving it in the hair and guitar strings and guitar stuff and as many instruments as I could think of. I don't know. Yeah.
It looks really cool. So Lindsay, what are you up to at the moment?
Well, this year I've kind of planned an exhibition with Black Home Illustrations.
That's the name of your company?
Yeah, yeah. I'm basically doing a series of like fashion illustration portraits to do with women in the alternative industry.
Okay.
And basically, it's going to go on tour because I basically got jealous of people in bands and them touring.
You're going on tour?
Yeah.
Whereabouts are you going on tour?
Well, it's going to be shown in Yeovil at first, in Woods Wine Bar, and then it's going to go to Brighton, it's going to go to Northern Lights, it's going to go to Exeter at the Cabin, and then back here, it's going to go to Surrey, and then Salisbury hopefully, and then maybe even Berlin, depending on whether
Cool. What are the dates?
Well, it's like we're being hosted for a month in each area. I'm putting stuff up on my Facebook page and Twitter and stuff. So.
And that's back for the registrations.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Yeah, 11 was so last year, wasn't it? So we have to Stonehenge.
I'm gonna jump down here. I'm gonna get more drummer shots.
That's what matters.
That is exactly what. It's the heart and soul of it, yeah.
Just play it, yeah? Just go from top.
Telephone. Jump when I lick your spoon.
On that sort of note, what is there anything that stands out in the last 10 years? Like, is there a moment that stands out, or are there any bits where you think to yourself, I wish I'd done that, or I wish I hadn't done that, or?
No, to be fair, I don't think when you make mistakes and things go wrong and you learn and that sort of thing. I wish I had loads more money to throw at the place so I could make it an even better environment for bands. But in terms of what I've learned, or what I've got from the last 10 years, it's just made lots of friends, met loads of really great people, totally kind of reinforced my belief that musicians are the best people on the planet. Yeah, I can't fault them.
Hope like helping people follow their passions as well, and make you have sort of having an influence to take that step.
I call it enabling rather than helping, because there's somewhere where they can come and do it. They're not going to get judged. I refuse to accept egos when they come through the door. I refuse to let any bands take the mickey out of any other bands. And to be fair, that doesn't happen anyway. The level of respect down here is
I mean, just from being here, I mean, I've obviously been down here before, but just sort of the vibe that I've gotten this weekend is everyone has such a mutual respect for each other, and everyone, I think you get that a lot with musicians anyway, they always kind of respect what the other people are trying to do because they realise how hard it is themselves.
Yeah.
And for anyone to try and take that leap of faith and just to give it their all, it's a lot, and it does deserve respect.
Yeah.
Massively.
Yeah, I think it's just as long as the band's got a level of integrity and honesty about what they're doing, then you will have respect from other bands. It doesn't matter what genre it is, it's totally cross-genre.
Yeah.
So, even the punks can see that these guys are working hard, and these guys can see that these guys are working hard, and then you get that level of respect. You do get bands come down here that aren't really working at it, but
they don't last very long usually.
But that's their right. They can come down and do what they want. If they, it'll all fall apart in a few weeks and something else will happen. But that's a negative thing to say, but
it's the truth. Yeah. We've been here now for 10 years. So you've been here for 10 years now. What do you envisage the next 10 years being like?
I really, really hope that it's just going to continue exactly as it is. More and more new bands. I'm really lucky being placed where I am because you've got the whole kind of student hall. Every year there's a fresh batch of new musicians, new bands, new ideas coming in. All I want from it is for it just to continue like that.
Amazing. Have you got any sort of aspirations for this place for the future, or are you happy with the way it is at night?
I think in terms of pushing this particular venue any further forward, I'm pretty much jammed where I am, and that's because it is what it is and it works. Trying to turn it into anything other than this would just be a nightmare.
Yeah.
But if I was to say that I could have any kind of aspirations, I would really, really love the opportunity to open some kind of venue that was more of an open house venue rather than it being a place where you went and paid to see bands. So it was just that there was always, so almost like a bar where there was a band rehearsing in every night, sort of thing.
Take the commercial aspect out of it, of the trying to make money and stuff like that. Get rid of that and just have it as what it naturally is.
I think, I don't want to be controversial, but it's kind of difficult for bands to build up followings these days because people have to pay to come and see them. If it was just I've just noticed this band's on, let's go and see them, let's go and check them out, it's not going to cost us anything, then it would increase their visibility.
Rather than paying like £8 or something like that.
Yeah, or anything.
Some venues do charge.
Let me sleep, my love. This day is not meant for us. Notice you start to lock the bathroom door. I close my eyes and dream of how we were. I'm of no one. When you're lowest of the low, pray someone's got for that. Lost my heart years ago to someone who didn't want it back. Oh God, but so different. Settle down, my lonely one. Settle down, this is your body. When you're gone, it's down. No one's there to soften that frown. Notice to start to lock the bathroom door. I close my eyes and dream of where we were. I'm half gone. I've no one. I don't need anyone. I'm too stubborn for that. Lost my heart years ago to someone who didn't want me back. Oh God, but so different. Settle down, my lonely one. Settle down, this is your body here. Whoa.
Thank you.
Good. Right, well, I'm here on the couch with Ollie, Steve, Robin, and Matt. Sat over there in the corner quite sheepishly there, Matthew. And they're all going to tell us what bands they're in at Rehearsal down here.
Silver Spirits, amongst a bunch of others.
Disco Lows, The Ramblings, and Stone Neck Crows.
And Disco Lies as well.
First question to Ollie. Yes, sir. What makes this place special to you?
It's the first place you get suggested if you ask for rehearsal space.
Yeah, I always found that. It is like whenever you ask people, like, oh, do you know any rehearsal rooms? Everyone always says you don't know. They go, Planet Sound.
If you get into the local scene a bit, sort of learn where the bands are, what they're doing, and it's sort of.
Well, that is one of the.
It's like, you know, if you're in Southampton, you play the Joiners.
Yeah.
You also rehearse at Planet Sounds. Right.
I think the first time I met you, when you were in the Ramblings, was in the kitchen.
Probably was actually. I was probably drunk.
Steve, what do you think Planet Sounds brings to like the community of like musicians in Southampton? Because as we spoke before, like even though there are so many bands in Southampton, it is a really tight-knit community, isn't it?
It is.
It is.
The thing about Planet Sounds, which I've always liked, is you come in and you can have a chat with people that you meet in, like around this area. Everyone's gone off and all. There's so many different bands. But I always found like there was really good musicians here and really nice people and all. And it's just a cool place to be for. Tim is such a lovely dude.
Robin, same question to you. What do you think Planet Sounds means to everyone? Because it means a lot, doesn't it?
Yeah, I first came here
65 years ago.
No, when we first started up our band, like the Ramblings, we were really new to the music scene. We didn't know anybody. And literally, I just like looked it up on the internet and came across it. And I was like, oh, that looks a bloody good place to go. You know, so we went down here, and from within here, we met so many other bands. You know, that were playing
and
around the same.
Producers.
Yeah, and producers and yourself. The whole kind of scene was alive in this place at that point, and it always has been, and it always continues.
It always will be, won't it? I think, like, going back to what you just said about having a scene, of having a very strong scene in Southampton, whether it be whatever genre of music scene is extremely strong here, and like, I think a lot of it emulates from this place, from the rehearsals and stuff. Matt, what do you think?
For me, like,
I think just the overall aesthetic of the place is quite cool. Like it's underneath a road. It's nice and like sort of, it's that sort of dingy kind of music place that
People feel home.
the whole community sort of feel to it, because it's like open doors, really, isn't it? Like to do
everyone's welcome.
To be creative, to be creative with people that love being creative, and that sort of thing like breeds that whole sort of sense of like.
It encourages it.
Yeah, it encourages it like that. So,
yeah, because actually the first time I filmed Robin's band with the Ramblins was actually down here as well. We did like 2 or 3 songs down here, and it was just like in that little room over there, just tucked in a corner. But it's always had a really nice feel to the place, you know. And I love this artwork as well. It just kind of.
Lindsay Sattler, wherever you are, somewhere in Germany. What message do you have for Tim, Ollie?
I think he is a wonderful, big, gentle man.
Tim's just like a big, gentle giant in a way, you know.
He's got a big heart, hasn't he?
Yeah,
and a big rehearsal space.
He's really nice every time you come and chat to him. He's like.
He's always really helpful, isn't he?
Exactly,
if
because sometimes I feel like an idiot. I went out and asked for some things that I don't even know what I'm asking for. Somebody sent me out like.
Basics up.
Yeah.
Apparently, I'll play that thing with 4 strings on. Robin, what would you like to say to Tim? If he's listening, wherever it is, in one of his many villas that he's got in Spain.
Thank you very much for over the years. It's been amazing, and hopefully many, many more years to come. You know,
I would definitely say thank you.
Yeah,
Thank you.
big thank you.
Yeah.
You help support the Southampton music scene so much with it, you know.
He's also pretty. He's just really. He understands when music comes from the right place. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
And
he
he
always
hate-
picks the bands that I hear that he likes are normally really like raw and not like they're not necessarily going to do particularly well, but like.
The proper
Just
bands.
see something, yeah, he can just see something about them, and like he's absolutely right.
I think like one of the main things is he supports the characters and he supports like the people. Do you know what I mean? As much as anything else.
We need to find a name. What do you think we should call the couch for today?
Don't call it a casting couch because that is what we're doing.
What planet it is.
What planet it is? It's not a small planet, it's a big one.
Better than Pluto.
It's the last place they're all.
I've heard this. I've heard that this rehearsal room is much better than Pluto.
It won't get downgraded.
To Saturn or something like that, where there are as many moons.
He's still recording. He's a professional, Stephen. Need more of those around here. Bloody hell.
Have you still got your school badge?
Yeah, for the first badge.
Can I see it?
I'm going on it. I'll keep it in there.
You keep it in the hut.
I know what makes this place special. Because underground dwellings, caves, they've been given a bad reputation.
This isn't the cave.
I've heard this. I've heard the underdwelling of caves has been given a bad reputation by you.
Rehearsal, by
Used to be a garage, didn't it?
Yeah. Did it?
Yeah. And they used to keep trolls under here at one point. It was a leper colony.
First day, you realised this was it.
Who's done the Swiss underground? Tim's persevered.
And he
He's
knows.
beaten Fritzel out of the water.
He knows that it can be used as a force.
You can get children underground, and you can make it a good thing.
He's using underground dwellings, cavernous dwellings, as a force for good.
Thank you.
Thank you, Megan. It's lovely to see you. Merry Christmas.
I watch his head between these four walls. In charge of him, in charge of him. Oh, how long when I can see the time is running. It is him, it is him. It is about the towers to don't remember the possibility that reach the burning touch. Yeah, now me a kiss and I promise you will. Yeah, once the towers to don't remember the possibility that reach the burning touch. Yeah, now me a kiss and I promise you will. Images just to the stomach. That sack, that thing. Do all you have me. It's mother you, mommy grunting. 50 game best. Yeah, once and once I was the doorman, but bad booty, the possibility that puts the burning touch. Now me a kiss and I promise you this. Yeah, once and once I was the doorman, but bad booty, the possibility that puts the burning touch. Now me a kiss and I promise you. Cabaret. Jacket was a terrible, terrible decision.
Trees tall still.
So as we sort of, I mean, for the last weekend we've kind of asked everyone if they have a message for you, and we've had some good responses. Have you got a message for everyone?
I do, and I'd kind of like to single it out a little bit if I can.
Go for it.
There's a little list of people that I'd really like to thank because they've been very, very integral, influential, and they're basically the building blocks of Planet Sounds as how it is now.
Yeah.
Starting off with my mate Chris Walsh, who definitely his placement was started off without him because the amount of work we put into it at the beginning was unbelievable. When Neil Kennedy came on board, starting doing recording and stuff, that changed the face of this place. Became much more of a kind of musical community. We had a bit of a, we called it a symbiotic relationship, whereas it was working, we were getting clients for each other sort of thing. He's gone on to do massive things over at the ranch now. So yeah, really chuffed with that. All the people that have helped me, Dave Jones, Ed Stafford, Steve Beeger, Andy Harris, and now latest one, Chris Small, with the recording and stuff that he's been doing this weekend has been outstanding.
Fabulous, absolutely fabulous.
Obviously a massive thanks to you guys for the whole idea of coming down here and doing this whole video concept. And to be fair, I mustn't forget Kaz the drummer, who can't go without a mention because she's been a mainstay down here, comes down here, cleans the place up after all the scruffy herberts that come down and drop beer cans all over the place, and is just a massive help. Yeah,
thank you. It's been an absolute massive privilege to be able to do this.
I did want to say something else on the end of this, to be fair.
Go on.
I just want to again thank all the musicians and everybody that comes down here, and I know that I give them stick, you know, especially drummers, you know, but they all know that it's all in good heart. And in actual fact, just before Christmas, you know, I dropped my favourite mug, and I was kind of going on about how upset I was about busting my mug, and a few drummers got together and they bought me a new mug, which was really touching. And so yeah, for that, I'd just like to say, cheers, chaps.
Oh, that's brilliant.
What?
Oh, that's so good.
Fragrant roots into my waiting, trembling veins. I'm a lining for dream. Stop rising again. Green vines from crooked rinds encircling my ardent red heart. I'm new created like art. It's a fevered fresh start. It's a fevered fresh start, oh hearts. Please don't you fail me now. Blossoms are calling me forward now. Intoxicated in my pollen house. Set free the rights of spring. Too long I've hibernated, shivering and ghostly pale. Let nature take its course in spring. My senses from their jail to tell their tale. Crossed out corpses resurrecting, Easter bunnies insurrecting. Insurrecting in the fields. Let it all be healed. Let it all be revealed. Oh hearts, please don't you fail me now. Blossoms are calling me forward now. Intoxicated in my pollen house. Set free the rights of spring. Swing shoots his fragrant roots into my waiting, trembling veins. I've been lying in fresh rain. Stop rising again. Stop rising again. Stop rising again. Rising again. Rising again. station